gather around, we'll formally start the proceedings. So good afternoon and welcome everybody. For those of you who haven't met me yet, my name is Councillor Lucinda Congreve and I am the Mayor of Brimbank City Council. So before I start, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the Wurundjeri people, and pay our respects to elders past and present. And it is my absolute pleasure to be here today to welcome the Labor candidate for the Federal Division of Fraser, Mr Daniel Mulino, back to the St Albans Leisure Centre. Before I start and we get into the formalities, I'd like to acknowledge a number of special guests that we have here today. So of course we have Mr Daniel Mulino. We also have my fellow councillors, Councillor Sam David, the Deputy Mayor, Councillor Margaret Judy Chair, Councillor Daniel Allen, Councillor Virginia Tarkos, Councillor Bruce Lancashire, Councillor Georgina Papafodio, Councillor Victoria Borg, and Councillor John Hedditch. And I think that I've got everybody who's here. We also have a number of other special guests in attendance. We have Morris Bassetto and Nicholas DeLuca from the Western United A-League team. We have Ahmed Hassan from Youth Activating Youth. We have Colin Burgeon from Youth Now and a number of other Youth Now representatives. We have Mr Les Twentyman. We have Leslie Thornton from Victoria University and the Mitchell Institute. We also have Rosie King, who is the CEO of Netball Victoria, and Rosie Smith, representing Victoria Police. And of course, we have a number of local families and community members who have joined us here today. We also have a couple of keynote apologies now. Our local MP, Natalie Suleiman, is an apology. It is a parliamentary sitting week today, so she's in at Spring Street. And of course, this was quite short notice, so we have a number of other apologies. We have Steve Brex, who is the chair of WOMETA, Wade Noonan, the Executive Director of WOMETA, Peter Dawkins, the Vice-Chancellor of Victoria University, Jim Williamson, Lead West Chair, Amit Bain, who is the Western Bulldogs CEO, Russell Harrison, the Western Health CEO, Lyle Stramby, who is the CEO of Melbourne Airport, and Ryle Dorrington, Western Chancellor CEO, who all wanted to be here today but weren't able to at the short notice. So it seems like just yesterday that we welcomed Mr Mulino and, of course, the leader of the federal opposition, the Honourable Bill Shorten, to this facility back in November. We often comment that we had a rock star visit Brimbank at that time. It was very, very popular. At that time, I was just days into my term as Mayor, and we were absolutely thrilled to have the opportunity to meet with Mr Shorten and Mr Mulino and talk to them through our plans for this St Albans Leisure Centre. As we all know, Brimbank has been working to develop St Albans into a world-class health and wellbeing hub that will provide a range of services for the Western region that will help address key local issues. We know that the Labor opposition has made a significant investment into both the health and the preventative health sector, a key priority in this election. So we are all very excited to be here today to hear about the possible news that Daniel Mulino may have about how a future Labor government may be able to help make Brimbank's vision for St Albans a reality. So Mr Mulino, we're very keen to hear from you today. We're hoping it's great news. So without further ado, please come up to the podium. I welcome you.
Thanks very much, Madam Mayor. And look, can I also begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet and pay my respects to their elders, past and present. I won't repeat all of the acknowledgements, but I did want to make a few acknowledgements just to reinforce how important today is for this community. Can I start by sending an apology from the Leader of the Opposition, Bill Shorten. As the Mayor said, it does seem like yesterday that he was here, and it was a rock star visit, and Bill was very glad to be in the presence of all the rockstar councillors, so that was a wonderful time. And look, Bill was obviously very affected by seeing this facility and the fact that it was so well used and so well loved, but also the fact that it was in need of investment. So him coming here was absolutely critical. And he would very much have liked to have been here today, but as I'm sure you can understand, once you get down to the final 2 or 3 weeks of the campaign, he's literally crisscrossing the country in a chaotic way, but he very much wishes he could have been here. As the Mayor said, all of the local state members who have an interest in this area would have liked to have been here. I've spoken to all of them about this project, to Natalie Suleiman, Marlene Caruz, Natalie Hutchins and Katie Hall. They're all very excited about this, and can I just say that there is a good announcement here today from the federal government, but or federal opposition, hopefully federal government, there's no presumptions. But look, I see this very much as a step in a journey where it's about all 3 levels of government and, of course, the broader community. It's about all of the organisations who are represented here being part of a journey for what I think is an incredibly exciting project. So can I acknowledge all of the state members who are very committed to this and all of the related services. Can I also acknowledge, as the Mayor did, the special guests in attendance, Morris Bizzetto and Nicholas DeLuca from Western A-League, to Ahmed Hassan and Youth Activating Youth, a very important organisation and one of a number of important organisations reaching out to youth in this community. To Colleen Bergen, thank you for attending. Les Twentyman, of course, a long time champion of the youth, right across the West. To Leslie Thornton from VU and the Mitchell Institute, again, important potential partners in this broader vision of what this could become. And to Rosie King from the CEO of Netball Victoria, and to Rosie Smith from Victoria Police. Can I just say that over the past few months, following the visit by Bill Shorten, I and also people in my team have been at train stations and door knocking and reaching out to people in the community, and this pool comes up time and time again. People talk about how much they love this, they talk about all their memories of this pool, but they also talk about the fact that they are right behind Council's plan to invest in this pool. And we all know how much it's used. I think there are 600,000 plus visits to the recreation centres across Brimbank, and that number, of course, is projected to increase exponentially. But of course, Council is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in remediation, and that's money that really should be going into services and into constructive things for this community. So this pool is long overdue for refurbishment. I'll just briefly say that, for me, centres like this, and I used to be a councillor way back, and facilities like this to me are some of the glue that binds the community together. This is the kind of facility that crosses the age boundary. This is where people learn to swim. This is where we have our swimming carnivals. This is where families come with their kids. This is where, when we're old, we come for hydrotherapy, for health services, for enjoyment, for relaxation. So, I feel more at the latter end of that spectrum these days than the former end, although I'll probably bring my 5-year-old for the former. But, this kind of facility cuts right across the age spectrum, and of course it also binds people across multicultural boundaries. This is truly one of those facilities that is unifying across the community. And then finally, can I say, something that I think the Commonwealth Government will be very interested in is the very ambitious and innovative vision that Council has for this facility, where it's going to be more than a pool, as important as a pool is, but they're looking to develop a facility that will have the capacity to deliver health services in a cutting-edge way to people that are finding it difficult to access them in more traditional means, that will be able to provide disability services under one roof, that will be able to provide cutting-edge preventative services under one roof. And I think the vision that Council has, as far as I'm aware, is cutting-edge across Australia. And that was something that the opposition certainly at all levels found very compelling. Mm-hmm. And so I will be announcing support for this facility, but I certainly don't see that as providing some money and walking away. I'm very keen for the Commonwealth to have that as the starting point of a partnership, because so many of the services that Council wants to provide in this facility, whether it be preventative health to deal with chronic disease or disability, are right at the heart of the opposition's policy program. So without further ado, can I say that the Bill Shorten opposition is very thrilled to commit $5 million to the facility. And as I said, it's a significant amount of money, and I'm very keen at a personal level, and also hopefully on behalf of the Bill Shorten government, to become a partner in what I think is going to be a truly exciting project for this whole community. So thank you for the opportunity to come here today.
Well done.
Thank you, Daniel.
I met the Minister of Sport.
Thank you, Mr. Mulino. This is absolutely wonderful news, and we are over the moon to have received this commitment from the Labor candidate for Fraser. I'm not going to say the federal government yet. So on behalf of Brimbank City Council and the Brimbank community, I say thank you to you.
Yeah.
We are, as I said, absolutely thrilled with this commitment from the Australian Labor Party. And I also express my thanks not only to Mr. Mulino, but also to the Honourable Bill Shorten for recognising this project and the value that this project is going to bring to this community, and also for standing by the people of Brimbank. There's been a lot of time and effort that's been spent planning for this groundbreaking project. We've knocked on doors, we've had countless meetings to attract investment, and what today's announcement tells us is that all of our efforts have been worthwhile.
Absolutely.
So well done to councillors that have come before me, to the CEO and the staff, and all of the Brimbank people that have made this commitment and have brought this to life. For almost 60 years, as Mr. Mulino said, the St Albans Leisure Centre has been a constant fixture in our community. I've spoken to so many people who learnt to swim here, or their children have learnt to swim here over the years. It's absolutely a pillar and an icon in our community. But it is time for something new, and it's time to be innovative and to lead by example. It's time to replace this much-loved facility with a world-class hub that will meet the needs of our community for now and for generations to come. As Mr. Mulino said, we're building an Australian first right here. The St Albans Health and Wellbeing Hub will be built around a state-of-the-art aquatic and leisure centre, but what will set it apart from the rest is that we will operate alongside social and health support services, which are delivered by co-tenant partners, all under the one roof, and all working towards the same goal, which is a healthier Brimbank. Once it's built, the community will have direct access to preventative community health and education programs, childcare, playgroup and school holiday programs, disability and carer services, family counselling, youth homelessness services, financial counselling, community legal services, and of course, a world-class leisure and aquatic facilities. As Mr. Mulino says, it takes us from swimming lessons to caring for you when you're elderly and you need the hydro pool. We have a vision for the hub to become a water safety education centre for lifesavers and for our culturally diverse community. As you may all be aware, this year in Australia, Victoria experienced the highest number of drownings on record, and our culturally diverse community were well overrepresented in those stats. We want to change that. We want to work with Lifesaving Victoria and have this facility one that people come from all different backgrounds and learn how to swim, and to reduce the number of drowning deaths that are happening. The St Albans Health and Wellbeing Program Hub will also become an active and preventative health hub for the entire Western region. It will complement the significant investments that have been made by the Victorian Government into the Sunshine Hospital, the Joan Kerner Hospital, and more recently the announcement of the upgraded or the brand new Footscray Hospital. Furthermore, with the $10 billion Melbourne Airport rail link coming via Sunshine, the St Albans Health and Wellbeing Hub is well positioned to make a difference to many more lives across the municipality and the region. So since planning for the hub began, we've made lots and lots of progress. So just some of that is that we have confirmed what aquatic and leisure facilities will be located in this hub. Following an extensive EOI process, we've offered Good Shepherd Australia, New Zealand and Community Plus tenancy arrangements to be located at the hub, providing services alongside council. We've progressed discussions with community health providers as potential partners and/or co-tenants. We have awarded William Ross Architects the contract to design the Health and Wellbeing Hub, and we are well progressed with that design work. We've established the Brimbank Collective Action Committee to ensure the community are partners in improving the health and wellbeing outcomes that we see coming out of this facility, and we have now secured the support of the Australian Labor Party to deliver this project on behalf of our community. So what's next? The next step will be to finalise designs for the hub and to get some shovels in the ground. And we can't wait to see the St Albans Health and Wellbeing Hub become a reality, and in a few years to welcome all of you through the doors on its opening day. So again, I'd like to thank Mr Mulino for the $5 million commitment. It is absolutely amazing. We're going to continue to seek further investment from all levels from other levels of government and from private investors. And we are very, very pleased to be progressing with what will be a world-class facility right here in the heart of St Albans. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome everyone here today to please enjoy a barbecue, enjoy a sausage, bring the kids over and get their face painted with the fairies, and get some balloons, and to enjoy and help us celebrate this amazing commitment from the federal opposition. So thank you again, welcome, and please join me again in thanking Mr Mulino and the Federal